Hi guys, hope you're doing great today. So today I'm going to review a very special book indeed. It's not just one of the most famous books across the world, but one of the best known motivational books in the world. And it's amazing to see that even after years of getting published, this book still continues to remain on the bestseller lists of many book selling sites. I'm talking about none other than Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. So without much ado, let's begin the review. The Alchemist, the cover of the book itself says, a fable about following your dream. And The Alchemist is literally that. It literally is a fable about following your dream. It is written like a fable in an allegorical fashion. And for those of you who do not know what a fable is basically a storytelling style in which the external story is just a facade for a message that is to be revealed. The external story, you can say, is just like an artifice, like a disguise through which the author wants to give you some important message. It can be a spiritual message, it can be a philosophical message. A fable generally has black and white characters, and the narrative is pretty simple, the storyline that is. And there are many cliched characters. Characters are generally cliched in a fable. That's one of my problems with The Alchemist as well. The Alchemist has, the female characters here are very cliched. The only purpose seems to be, for men to fall in love with them. So I think that's the only problem I have with The Alchemist. But as I said, it's just following the structure of a fable. Of course, it's a modern fable. Traditional fables would be like the fairy tales which we read during childhood, or the stories of Panchatantra, which are the Indian stories, and which every story has a moral at the end of it. Now, coming to the plot of The Alchemist is the story of a shepherd boy called Santiago, who lives in the Andalusia area of Spain. Now, on the face of it, it looks like that Santiago is, pretty content with the kind of life he has, rearing his sheep, living in the lap of nature. But there's something that troubles Santiago. He gets a dream again and again in which he sees a hidden treasure waiting for him somewhere. This recurrent dream, keeps on disturbing him. Of course, initially he tries to ignore the dream, thinking that I have such a great, amazing life, I am living a peaceful life, why bother myself with a dream? It's just a dream. But slowly, gradually, his adventurous side gets the better of him, and Santiago leaves everything in search of his dream, in search of that hidden treasure, and in between he passes through so many lands, has so many adventures, meets so many different kind of characters. He meets the king of Saleh disguised as, somebody else. He also meets an alchemist. He has so many, bizarre and fantastical adventures on the way. He even talks to the wind. He almost loses his life once. He gets robbed a couple of times till he finally reaches the pyramids of Egypt, where apparently his treasure is hidden. But in the end, his destiny takes a turn for good. I won't reveal to you the exact plot, what happens in the end. It's for you to read and find out. But basically, this is the gist of the plot of The Alchemist. Now, coming to the message of the book. At the surface level, of course, The Alchemist is, a narrative about, it's like a self-help book. And that's how it's gained popularity across the world. It's about chasing your dreams, following your ambitions and passions. Even if your dreams seem absurd to the world at large, or even if they don't make any sense to you, the point is to just follow them, ignore what the world is thinking, ignore your own negative demons as well, and just go chase your dreams because it's totally worth it. That is the surface message of the book, which works absolutely well. But I think beyond the surface, The Alchemist is a multi-layered book, which is trying to say many things about life, experiences, destiny, intuition. And the more you read the book, I think if you read it a second time, the third time, the more you discover, new layers to the book. The book, I think what is most importantly, it's trying to say, apart from discovering your dream, is the fact that The journey is perhaps more important than the destination. And when your journey is complete, maybe you don't achieve what you were thinking was your destination, but you achieve something nevertheless, and you discover a lot of things about yourself in the process, and that's what is more important. The journey is more important than the destination. That's the feeling I got when Santiago is going through all these adventures to find his treasure. He learns so many things about himself, about the world. He encounters so many different characters, and his every experience teaches him something new about life. So I think the book also places a lot of value on intuitive learning, and it's somewhere trying to tell you that you learn a lot from life's intuition rather than books. Notice the contrast between, the character of the shepherd boy who doesn't have that kind of bookish knowledge and the alchemist who has only bookish knowledge. Now, of course, the book doesn't, discredit the experience of one versus the another. It also tries to tell you that everybody will have a different trajectory, a different way of pursuing your dreams, because everybody is unique and it's all right for that to happen. The book has a wonderful phrase. It's called the soul of the things. Paulo Coelho in The Alchemist has this formulation that everything in this world, whether it's animate or inanimate, has a soul. Whether it's human beings or the wind, water, earth, forests, trees, everything in this world has a soul. And all these souls across the world are interconnected. For example, if I'm living here in India, North India at the moment, then perhaps there's something about my soul that's interconnected to, something remotely happening in Iceland or in the deserts of Egypt. I think this idea is very fascinating of destinies being magically intertwined. Now, of course, it might seem overtly romantic to you and a kind of, a very irrational idea if you think from a realistic point of view. But think about it and, this idea will start making sense to you. As I said, The Alchemist is written like a fable. And I think for those of you, who are used to that very Western realistic tradition of writing, you might not really like The Alchemist. It might not come to your expectations if you're, expecting that kind of rationality and that kind of rational engagement with socio-political cultural realities of a certain time. The Alchemist is not that kind of a book. It's a fable about following your dreams, and it has, it's written in a different kind of style. It has a lot of fantasy in it. So I think you have to let go of your, judgmental lens and inherent biases in reading when you're approaching a book like The Alchemist. If you do away with all the stereotypes, then you will certainly enjoy the book. And I think gain a lot from it in the process as well. Coming to the language part, the language is very simple. It's very lucidly written. Of course, original Portuguese, I don't know Portuguese, so I haven't read the original Portuguese version, but in English, it's very easy to follow. Even if your English is like okay and not very good, even then you can follow The Alchemist. And I think especially, if you're going through a phase where nothing makes sense, you're dejected or depressed, then The Alchemist is that kind of a book which will immediately come to your rescue and it will immediately pep you up. Because here is a young boy who is, undergoing so much of hardship just for the sake of finding a treasure that he saw in a dream. So compared to that, if you think your hardships, these would seem nothing to you. And you would certainly get inspired that if a young boy can risk his own life for, finding something that he sees in a dream, then you can certainly work harder and be positive in order to meet your goals and expectations. So I think The Alchemist is definitely a great one-time read. You can, of course, read it a couple of times as well. But at least for once, I think you should read this book. So guys, that was it for today. If you like my content, please like the video, do press the like button and do share it with your friends as well. And the channel Rati Agnihotri Official has a lot of content related to books, literature, poetry writing. Do browse the channel when you have time. And please do subscribe to the channel if you like my content. Thank you.